refocusing Black parenthood and swag gap relationships.
On this episode of Simply Necessary Conversations.
So, something that has been trending recently for this edition of Trending Topics is Cardi B talking about how she chooses to raise her kids. And I feel like some people were a little bit surprised because they don't necessarily associate Cardi B with being a good mom, even though that's like, an unfair thing to even think.
Yeah.
But she was just talking about how her kids are doing school, they're doing activities, and really she's focused on them being well-rounded and educated and having something other than just being Cardi B's offspring,
Yeah.
So what did you, as a parent, what did you think of what she had to say about raising kids and how she's going about it?
I know she probably does not care, but I was extremely proud of her. I mean, because I'm older than her. I'm probably old enough to be her mom.
Yeah, I think she's only like 30.
Yeah, so like I was very proud of her for having the wisdom to know that she needed to do those things with her kids. I was proud of her because I'm assuming a lot, because I don't know her life or her background, but I'm assuming that there were things that maybe she didn't have in her life. And if you're a good parent, whatever you missed out on, you want to make sure your kids don't miss out on. And I'm just happy that she knows that to be a parent is more than just buying clothes, more than just showing the kids off on social media, and that she wants her kids to have a good foundation, because a lot of parents are not doing that. That used to be Black excellence meant making sure your kids were educated, making sure they had work ethic. We have abandoned that as a culture a little bit, and I know what I speak of for those people that want to know, well, what makes you an expert? I'm an educator and I see these kids. I'm in the classroom and I see these kids. So I was just happy to see that she wants to make sure that her kids have a good foundation and not, necessarily be dependent on her for their well-being when they get older.
Yeah, it wasn't until I got older that, because you always made sure like I had piano and I was focused on school, and from a young age I was thinking about scholarships and what college I wanted to go to, and I also had you being an example of, oh, you went to USF, I want to go to USF, But I didn't realize until I got older and I started talking to more people that specifically in the Black community, a lot of Black folks don't have the background to even be able to tell their kids what they should be focused on, or what activities or what extracurriculars that they might be interested in or need, or they might not have the means to be able to take them to band practice or take them to a spelling bee, or like whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see a person of color raising Black kids, talk about making sure that they are well-rounded. And obviously they're going to have a way better life than a lot of kids, because they're going to have all the money in the world to be able to do all the stuff that they want to do. But it's also a credit to her that she doesn't just want them to just be rich and be nothings and nobodies and have no skills. And I feel like you see the same thing with like Blue Ivy, where she's on tour. She's actually learning a talent, and she's not just sitting and just being this celebrity
being just
kid.
a spoiled rich kid.
Yeah.
It's important for everybody, celebrities included, to equip their kids, because you can give them or leave them all the money in the world. If they don't have money management skills, if they don't have finance skills, they can't read contracts and comprehend what they're signing, that money is not going to last. So I'm glad that she knows that, and I wish that, because thankfully in my friend circle, because I had a certain kind of friend circle, all my friends were like everybody that I was close friends with, everybody that I was even tangentially connected to went to college. Like there was not anybody from my friend circle that did not go to college. So, and I was blessed, and some of them had 2-parent homes, some of them had single-parent homes, but they all went to college. I met a lot of friends in college that were first-gen kids. They were the first person from their family to go to college. And I saw the differences between the kids who came from families where college was the norm and expected versus the kids that were first-gen. A lot of the first-gen kids really made me appreciate my parents, because things that I took for granted, because I can remember them asking me, where do I work? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, where do you work? I was like, I'm in school. What you mean where I work? They were like, you don't have a job? Like, you don't have a job on campus? You don't do nothing? It's like, no, because I'm in school. And I worked during the summer, and I did that so that I have spending money, because my parents made sure I had everything I needed. The wants, they were like, okay, that's on you. But I didn't realize that so many of my college friends, until we were, into the first, second semester, they had to work to be able to be there.
Yeah.
And I can remember I wrote my mom a very lovely letter, and I don't know if she still has it, but I wrote her, I literally sat down and wrote her a letter thanking her because it was eye-opening. Like, it really was eye-opening, and I feel like I grew up in that moment when I realized, oh,
yeah,
everybody doesn't have the privilege of just doing school. So for Black parents, parents of any culture or color, you got to make sure that your kids are prepared for when you are not around.
And I wouldn't even like, obviously for me, college was just like an automatic, like you're going to school.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was just kind of like you're not doing anything.
Now,
else,
let me
you're
say
going to
that if
school.
you had not shown academic promise, I would not have forced college on you.
But
But because I knew you were capable, yeah, you was going
I was
to school.
I was gonna say I don't even think college is the end all.
Yeah, it could be trade
it could be,
school,
but
it
I
could
feel
be
like a lot of
something.
parents don't like. It's like go to high school, get your diploma, and then figure it out. And it's not learn how to do a trade, go to college,
Yeah.
have like a athletic ability that can get you a scholarship, or have like an academic thing that get like. But I feel like a lot of Black parents haven't had the opportunity to know that for themselves. So
Yeah.
there's no way for them to prepare their kids. I feel like majority, I would hope, of parents are trying to put their kids in front of educators and people that can help them more than they can help their own children with some of this stuff. But it was also eye-opening for me. Majority of my friends worked through college. There was no like, oh, sitting back waiting for mommy or daddy to hand me money. And like, I mean, you supported me all throughout college. I also had scholarships. And I didn't realize until after I graduated how many people had like thousands of student loans that they had to pay back, and that set them not necessarily back, but that like was an added expense to, okay, now I gotta go to work and I gotta pay my car and I gotta pay rent. And so
The goal should be, if you push out a child, the goal should be that their life is better than yours. At least to me, that's what the goal should be. And it is very advantageous if you have a child and you have prior experience that you can pass on to them. Because I knew all the things that you needed to do to go to school. I knew to tell you when to zig, when to zag, and that was why you were able to get as many scholarships as you got. That was why it is such a huge advantage, and I thank sweet Jesus that neither of us had student loans. Neither of us came out owing any money. We could hit the ground with that advantage and immediately start earning. Like we were in a position. That is not always the case.
People like that are older than me asking about their kids or asking about themselves, and I'm like, oh, like how much student loans did you have? How did you? And I'm like, I didn't have any.
Thank
I don't
you,
know how to
Jesus.
answer that
You
question.
did not have any,
But that just goes to you making sure that I was doing the high school level work in middle school to make sure that I could write the essays and do all of the stuff that I needed to do.
If you are in the state of Florida and you have kids and they are academically inclined, bright futures, make sure that you are talking to their guidance counselor, find out what the criteria is for that, and make sure they are following those steps. That's free college, at least right now, because we don't know what's going to happen. But that's free college in the state of Florida, depending on their test scores. They can get 50%, 75%, or 100% covered. Make sure that you are asking that. Know your kids' guidance counselors and make sure that you stay on it, because they get paid to do a job. Make them do their job. The guidance counselors that we dealt with were really good and they were helpful.
But it is so much deeper than just, oh, my parents, trying to do the best. It depends on what school you go to. Some schools don't know all of the steps. Some schools might, I forgot to tell the student about this set of criteria.
And some of them will selectively tell who they want to tell, but not tell everybody. So you do not ever think that somebody else is going to advocate for your child the way you would. Do not ever fully trust your child's education to teachers, guidance counselors, or principals, or anybody. That's your child. And if you're not checking, it's on you, because nobody else is going to. If they don't get it, you're going to be the one that has to supplement. So make sure that they're getting what they get.
But I'll also say, I feel like you having me, not later in life, because you weren't like 50 years old.
But I was older. I was close to being a geriatric parent.
You were 32 when you had me. So you had 10 years of being what do you call it?
A dink. Double income, no kids. Be a dink, people. Be a dink. Do not rush to have kids. Set a foundation for yourself and for those kids so that they're not having a struggle. And to say there's never a perfect time, there is never a perfect time, but there are steps that you can take to make sure that when you do have a child.
I wish you would have had me a little bit younger.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. You might have had a sibling if I'd have started early.
Do I want to have kids in my 30s, even though I probably will have kids in my 30s because the economy is terrible? Yes. But I do think it'll be beneficial because I'll have had so much life experience and I'm saving all of my money right now. And like, I'll be in such a better place and know how to properly mother children and have a stable relationship and make sure house is fine before bringing life into this world. So I mean, no shade to anybody that has kids young, but I feel like
my mom was a teen parent, like, so that's no shade to anybody.
You still turned out
and
good.
I turned out fine because she was a teen parent, but she wasn't a fool, and she was raised by loving parents. She was raised by somebody that.
She didn't have parents that could because I mean, her parents grew up in segregation and only could get an 8th grade education.
My grandma, no, not 8th. My grandma had to start working after 6th grade. That was where it was 6th grade. She was allowed to go to 6th grade.
But
every one of her kids finished high school, and my mom was the baby and was able to go to college. But she didn't know a lot, but she knew to put my mom with the people that did know more than her.
Even after she had y'all, you and my uncle, even after she had y'all, Granddaddy made a way for her to go back to school, get her 2-year degree, work her way up. And so all of the stuff that we were able to do, she just did a little bit delayed because of having kids, but she still managed to get it done. So I feel like the important thing is for Black parents not to focus on like status and appearance, but focus more on making sure that their kids will be very well taken care of through their hard work after they're gone. Yeah,
and big ups to Cardi because while I don't always like her lyrics, I like her songs, but I don't always like her lyrics. I mean, if that makes sense.
She made music for grown
people.
Yeah,
sometimes I wish she would clean it up, but I have big respect for her because a lot of people underestimated her, counted her out, thought she wasn't gonna do anything. She hood, she ghetto, whatever, but she is showing them they are eating those words.
Yeah.
And I told you, when she let her daughter, I think it was an oyster that she was letting Culture try for the first time, and she was like, you don't like it, and she did this. I said, that's a mama right there, because the mama's gonna let her child spit it out in her hand. Like, there's little things that tell you who a person is, and I think Cardi's a good mom. Like,
even the fact that she said she doesn't let her kids listen
to her music,
that she makes music for adults.
She has more sense than some of the other people who let their kids listen to her music. She don't even let her own kids listen to her music. So anyway, I appreciate her sounding off on her kids are gonna do things, her kids are gonna know things. She's gonna make sure that they are well prepared for life. So
well, moving on from one musician to another, let me put y'all on. We have to talk about this woman because I feel like she hasn't sprung out of nowhere because she's been working hard for years. But because of TikTok and social media, Olivia Dean getting a lot of attention. She just released, I want to say it's not her debut album. It's her most recent album called The Art of Loving. And it's a very Snow Allegra, Cleo Soul type vibe where it's just soulful and jazzy and very well written. Like, she's a songwriter through and through. Her aesthetic and her music videos is super cool. Her stylist needs to get a raise because her outfits are always very tea. But she's just an example of someone that makes romance songs and sometimes almost like breakup type sounding songs. She also has a song, I believe it's called Lady Lady, where she's almost talking about like Mother Nature and the universe and growing and kind of exploring yourself. But I just feel like she's a positive artist, very much akin to some of the other soulful, neo-soul type artists that we know and love. So hopefully her career will take off and she'll remain true to herself and
I know she has to be a good artist because I knew her song and I knew who she was. I listen to music, I enjoy music, but when you said her name, I was like, that sounds like the familiar. But then when you played the example, I was like, I like her music. I like what I've heard from her. So
the British girlies be taking over. Maybe she'll be this generation.
I didn't know she was British.
Yeah.
Okay then.
So she's from the UK.
All right.
I'm not gonna do the accent because that wouldn't be good. I'd be insulting. I'd be insulting their culture. But something that I saw that Cosmopolitan. Thank you. I almost said cosmetology.
Yeah. I know her quirks. I know her quirks. Go ahead.
Something I saw that they post was that people are less concerned about age gap relationships. They're more concerned about swag gap relationships. And as someone that is single and ready to mingle, maybe, who knows? Are you concerned about swag gap relationships? Is that more important than the age for you?
I'm concerned about both of them. I am, because I keep having these little young fellas slide in my DMs and having to tell them, look, what year were you born, sir? Because,
Yeah.
because when I taught for the first time, I was only 15 years older than a lot of my students.
Yeah.
I kept that a secret from them. They would always ask me how old I was because they knew I was youngish, but I wouldn't tell them. So like, when these little young fellas slide in my DMs, like, I could have been your teacher. Like, that is so, it feels so weird to me. So age matters to me. 5 years, I think, is kind of where I like to cut off. If they
Older, young, 5 years.
5 years older, 5 years younger. I'll go 10 years older, but I don't think I want to go 10 years younger because that's too young. Because like I said, like,
that would only be 45. To me, as somebody that's in my 20s, 45 is like, now I don't want to call nobody 45 old, but like,
well, that's old to you. That's
like,
almost twice your age.
Yeah.
But a mature 45, yes, but most of the 45s are not mature. Like, they're not.
You're heterosexual, therefore most of the men aren't mature.
Well,
They got nothing to do.
Well, I'm definitely heterosexual. Anybody that's not male, I'm no shade to you, but no thank you. But yeah, so like a mature 45-year older, and that really is a hard cutoff. Like, under that is ridiculous to me. Maybe, but they tend to just, oh, you so funny. No, I ain't with that. But there's also an element of swag that you're gonna need, because while I'm not the coolest, trendiest person in the world, you also can't be wearing socks and sandals and things. Like, you can't, like, no, I'm not doing that.
They can have on the floral shirt with the
I
Steve
don't want
Urkel all
the
the way
Steve,
up here.
like, I don't want that, and I don't want people thinking that you my daddy and thinking I'm a gold digger because I'm with you because, like, we mismatched or something like that. So swag factor, you don't have to be, you ain't got to be swagged out, but you need to, we need to match. We just need to, we need to be equally, we need to match. We need to kind of have a similar vibe. If anybody's interested, I like somebody that's funny.
Oh, she's getting the
Like,
list.
look, let me go ahead and put that. I like somebody that's funny. I need them to have their own money because I got mine and I'm paying my own bills. So what you gonna do? Like, if you're not coming in to make my life better or easier, why are you here, sir? Like, why are you here? I'm never gonna be a burden to anybody, but you definitely ain't gonna be no burden to me.
I feel like swag gap is or not having a swag gap is important, because I couldn't imagine dating someone that, because I feel like swag gap basically just means y'all have shared interests and like a shared vibe. I couldn't imagine
and values, because like I don't need somebody that is a dusty. I don't need.
I feel like
scrubs
it's
in my life.
important to have shared interests. Like, I consider myself to be a little bit corny. Like, I try to disguise it with the way I look. I don't look corny, I hope. Y'all don't need to clown me in
you
comments
don't look
if
corny,
I do.
and if they say that you do, they telling a lie.
I feel like there was a phrase that somebody used, but I feel like I'm an undercover nerd. Like, I love nerdy-ish, but I don't want to look like I love nerdy-ish.
Yeah.
And I feel like my boyfriend is very much the same. Like, on the outside,
Definitely.
we tea. On the inside, we're just big old kids that like to run around and watch anime and go to theme parks, and like, we're doing a Marvel rewatch right now. Like, that's our date night vibe.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that regard, you need to match, because I couldn't imagine like him being super la-di-da and like very like, oh, I'm too cool for this.
Yeah.
I can't do like, I can't be seen. Like, I want someone that can be goofy and fun and exciting.
I'm telling you, somebody that can make me laugh is gonna get me every time. Like, I can't date somebody that does not have a sense of humor at all, because like, I like to laugh.
That's another one. It's not swag out, but y'all got to be able to like have that same sense of humor and that same sense of like being able to clown each other. If that doesn't match, then it's
the
downhill.
thing that is trending a lot on the social media, I don't want somebody that's trying to destiny swap. I don't want somebody that is jealous of me. Like, I don't want somebody that's constantly coming in and telling me all the reasons why you got this, because using that as an excuse for why they're not on their grind. Like, I don't need that. Yeah. And that's probably why I'm single. Not to say that I'm the.
I mean, your last situation was definitely a swag.
But I consider myself, I love the phrase queen-ager. I'm in my queen age years.
Who says that?
I do.
Oh, so you just made that up?
I didn't make it up. I heard it, but I embraced it because I love the phrase, the term queen. No, it's not made up. I saw it on the internet. I don't know who said it, but I embraced. I've considered myself to be a queen-ager. I'm an older woman, but I am trying to age gracefully. I am handling my business, making sure that I, keep things, tight. I do not want somebody to come in that needs, I don't want to build a Negro. I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm not trying to be a mama to anybody, and I need a partner, not a project. I do not.
I think an example, going back to the whole, like, you got to be the same type of funny. I won't name you, sis. You know who you are when you see this. But one of my friends went out on a date, went out on multiple dates. Guy was cool, but he kept like clowning her about like stupid
petty stuff.
And then when she'd be like, "Oh, that's not really that funny," he would keep it going. And that's an example of like y'all learn to match.
He wasn't sensitive to
y'all learn
her.
Y'all aren't gonna vibe well together. Because my man can clown me all day, and then I can clown him, and then it's a key.
Yeah, but it's somebody that keeps poking and saying stuff to you when you have expressed that you don't like it. That's petty and small-minded.
And then also, you gotta be, if you're going to clown me, you gotta make it funny. Like, I need to be doubled over laughing, and then that makes it okay. Not like, I'm not saying y'all need to be in like emotionally abusive relationships. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if someone is like poking fun at you harmlessly, it needs to be funny. If it's not funny, then it just gives you a bully.
Yeah.
It just gives like, you're not cool.
It's a red flag, because I just saw one the other day. People keep posting them of people that knew on their wedding day they made a mistake. And usually what they show is, you know how you're supposed to cut the cake in,
like, the
cake
whole cake thing,
This dude took some cake and just like, he didn't smash it in her face. That would have been bad enough.
Yeah.
But he took it and like smeared, and I heard somebody on the off camera saying, she's gonna have to redo her makeup. And I'm thinking to myself, honey.
I feel like that's something that, there's a bug.
I think it's a mosquito. But yeah, that would have been wedding and filing for divorce on the same day. Like the shortest marriage ever. Within minutes. Yeah, because I was like, that right there said that he doesn't even like her.
It's also like a red flag if your significant other, and I see this a lot with girls specifically, where the girl will want to be like a girl's girl, but almost like a girl's girl too much, where it's just like they putting their boyfriend down, like, oh, I hate men, I hate men, I hate men. And it's just like, that's
because if I got one and he all right, you worry about yours, I'll worry about mine.
I always say, I'm like, men suck, not mine though.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Yeah, it's one of those things where that's the other thing too. He has to accept you for who you are. Yeah. If you are a girly girl and you extra, and he comes into the relationship with you being extra, then he needs not to come in the relationship trying to stop you from being extra. If you are a tomboy and you're not into makeup, because I'm not a makeup wearer, y'all. Eyeliner, mascara, lipstick, that's where I go with it. Unless I'm going to something extra special. Eyeliner, mascara, lipstick. That's what's going to happen. This is 55, how it is. But if you are someone that doesn't wear makeup and he's always encouraging you to wear makeup, y'all are not a match. If you wear a lot of makeup and he's like, do you have to wear so much makeup? Y'all are not a match. So you got to find somebody that's right there in the pocket for you, that likes the things that you like and likes you as you are. You also hopefully will find somebody that if for some reason you put on a few pounds, lose a few pounds, whatever, all of those things are important. And if he is already showing signs of not accepting you for who you are and being willing to adjust a little bit so that y'all are, then it's a red flag. You need to bounce.
I'm just saying, you're not going to know because you haven't been keeping up with this season. But a prime example of a swag gap relationship on Love is Blind is Calabria and Edmund. And if y'all watch Love is Blind, y'all know exactly what I'm saying, and y'all gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know those people, but I just, sometimes, I don't know how it happens, but every now and then I'll see a couple and it's like, well, how did they end up together?
But sometimes are the most powerful couples.
That's a lesson in you don't know their story, because sometimes, like if you see, for instance, this is just an example, y'all don't come to me. So if you, for instance, see a man that's physically fit and he's with a woman that seems to be a little bit plumper or overweight, whatever overweight means. Okay, no, let me say this. And you like, why he with her? You don't know. Maybe that man met her when she was physically fit and she got that way having his babies.
Or maybe he just likes bigger women.
maybe what you see is not what he see, and that's what he's attracted to. So like, it is not always even a physical match from other people's perspective, or a matching anyway from other people's perspective, but as long as those people are happy.
I will also say too, I feel like a lot of people are quick to judge a book by its cover, and like first photo, first encounter, there's like, I could never date that person. I tell so many people, not that I did this because I always thought my man was fine, so don't get it twisted. But I tell a lot of people that sometimes go on a date with someone that's not necessarily your
Type.
type, because personality-wise, or maybe that was just a bad picture, and then you see them and you're like, oh wow, like that they actually blow me away. Or like maybe you don't like the way that they dress, but you can change how somebody dresses.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can.
In my younger days, I confess you had to be pretty. I'm sorry. I like pretty boys when I was younger. I confess.
I personally could.
I liked pretty boys when I was younger.
Why did you point at me?
Because that's how you got to be.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm not boy.
But as I got older, I started being attracted to, not necessarily, now I still don't, like I said, I still can't be a Dusty.
You can't be a fugly
Can't be a tree monster. But looks matter a little bit less to me. And I've always been attracted to intelligence, but I made allowances in the past.
You have?
Always been attracted to intelligence and found that to be sexy, but it was kind of, when I was younger, everybody was been young. It was looks, intelligence. Now it's kind of flipped for me because I'm at an age where
I won't even rank the percentages. Like,
it should be like right here, but yeah, like I don't care if he's not. Blind. Yeah, like I don't think love is blind. Like, don't get it twisted, because you got to be physically attracted to somebody. But at the same time, I'm more open to people that I might have not have been open to before, because my whole thought process is about what I want.
But also,
are different now that I'm a little bit older.
You don't have to have kids.
And I don't have. I'm glad you said that, because
I'm
glad you said that. One of the reasons why looks mattered to me was because, okay, internet, come for me if you must, but you have to think about, I truly process, what would our DNA look like mixed together? Because kids that are more attractive have advantages. There is pretty privilege. I don't care what anybody tells you, there is a such thing as pretty privilege. So I think I was very conscious of, and even if I say so myself, my parents were both attractive people.
Realistically speaking, nobody want their kid to come out looking any certain type of way. You want your kid to be cute.
You want them to have every advantage, including their physical appearance.
But also,
now that I'm older and we are not going to procreate, because we are not going to procreate, that's not as big a deal to me.
I don't want
just being shallow.
I would never be in a situation where I'm out with somebody and they looking at me like, how did he get her?
Or like, why you with him?
Or like,
now. Yeah.
I feel like there's some girls, and I'm not gonna name the celebrities that I'm thinking of. Well, I don't like Jay-Z. Beyonce and Jay-Z, for example.
Fix it, Jesus.
Beyonce could do so much better. Maybe not financially wise, but looks wise.
But she has said that he's funny, and that maybe she is more mature and less shallow than we are, because she has said that he's funny and there were different things, and he's obviously has business acumen. So she was attracted to those things. And let's not lose the fact that he was a lot older than her, and an older gentleman sometimes can charm a younger woman because he knows how to treat a woman where somebody her age may not have. So there was a lot going on there.
She could have did better.
Well,
he also cheated on her.
Now that part. That's where he should have lost her. But anyway,
my point is that maybe not a swag gap relationship, but they definitely got a looks gap relationship.
Yeah.
I could never be in that situation where, imagine you come home and he's done pissed you off, and then you got to look at somebody that's not appealing to look at.
Not attracted to you. It is very shallow, but live your life.
I don't feel like that's shallow.
I think it is. I think it's shallow.
It's realistic.
It's realistic, but it's also shallow.
And I'm not. But the thing is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Attractiveness is objective.
Definitely.
So what I think is ugly, you might think that is the bee's knees. That's great.
Yeah.
But
don't kid yourself. If you and I think there's a saying that men attract the woman that a man attracts the woman that he can afford. A woman attracts the man, or the woman attracts a man. I can't remember how it goes the opposite way. Okay, so what it is a man can have the woman that he can afford, and a woman can have the man that she can attract. So it's a lot more about physical appearance on behalf of the woman than it is on the man. Women are sometimes willing to make allowances for a little bit less physical attraction if he's a provider or he seems to be financially stable. I'm not doing either one. I just need to be attracted to
I like when people
them in every way.
This might be very shallow, but I like when people see me and my boyfriend out and they're just like, "Oh, y'all look so nice."
Oh,
together.
I know what it was. Man,
Oh, God.
a man
You
can get the
still
woman that
trying?
he can afford, and then the see, you made me lose it again. Never
We
mind.
gonna just move on. How about that?
Yeah, but you made me lose it. I
Well,
had it.
Let's just move.
I had
It's
it.
okay. It's okay. Let's just
Anyway.
move on. To ask a Gemini.
Okay, what are you asking me?
I saw this 90-year-old lady, lovely 90-year-old lady, who went skydiving for her birthday. And it made me think, what would I do once I reach that age where I might not live to see another day? What would I use that power almost to take advantage of all the stuff that I might have been afraid to do in my youth? So I'll let you go first, and then I'll kind of give my response of what I would do at 90-something years old, because who cares?
I got so much respect for her because I'm barely getting in a plane, let alone jumping out of a plane.
You got to think at 90, she might not wake up tomorrow.
I could literally be 200. I'm not jumping out of a plane. Like, I'm just not because I'm afraid of height. No, ma'am. But things that I would do if I knew, okay, I have lived my life and there's not a whole lot of time left, mine are a lot less impressive and maybe kind of petty. But if I knew for sure, there's a lot of airing out that I need to do. There's some people that I need to get some stuff off my chest.
I thought you were about to say you were going.
No. There's a lot of people that I have not said things to that I probably would go ahead on and say them. Like, once I get to a certain point in my life, like, I'm gonna just go ahead on and tell you what I really think. So that would be high on my list. I would, if I had the finances, like, I wouldn't jump out of a plane, but I would get on more planes and go more places, because right now, especially right now, I'm hesitant to travel because, I'm afraid of heights, I'm afraid of flying, whatever. But once I got to a certain age, there's things that I haven't seen that I really want to see. There's places that I haven't gone that I really want to go.
Yeah.
I would just start checking those things. When I retire, which in Jesus' name will be soon, but when I retire, that's one of the things I want to do. I do not want to be one of those people that sit in the house and do nothing. I want to go and see and do the things I couldn't do. By then, I will probably have grandchildren. I'm gonna spoil my grandchildren. Like, what you want that $1,000 bubble gum? Get it, baby, because grandma got it like that. Like, I hope to be in that space where I can just go and do and see things. I might even at that point study some things that I've always been interested in. Like, I've always said I love education and stuff, and if I didn't have to work, I would probably be a lifetime scholar, because I want to know about stuff. I always thought that maybe I could have been an art history major. I have a friend that's an art history major. So, like, I love art, I love museums. It's been one of my goals. One of the ladies that gave out scholarships at one of your scholarship banquets, she said that she had or was trying to visit every continent. Like, it was on her bucket list to make sure that she has visited every continent. I would probably do things like that, be able to say that I've gone everywhere.
You stole my whole list.
I'm sorry.
But what I would do is, my dream is to just turn into Medea. I just want to be able to be a crotchety, old, hateful lady.
Not hateful, but just outspoken.
Hateful in a fun way.
Yeah.
I just like you piss me off, I'm gonna cuss you out right then.
Because what you gonna do?
Because you're gonna hit an old lady.
Like, what you gonna
do? Or
do?
like, if someone like pisses me, like a stranger just in public, I can just say whatever I want. Because who gonna get mad at a 90-something-year-old lady?
Well, they can get mad, but there's not a whole lot else they can do.
Yeah, it's just kind of like whatever. I want to, like, just like you said, I travel as much as I could. I feel like at 90-something, I probably would skydive, because what I got to lose. Like,
I'm not skydiving because, like, I would probably, the day I skydive would be my last day.
That lady survived?
The lady may have lived her whole life never being afraid of heights, so, like, it's different.
No, there's a lot of stuff that I would just not care about anymore. Like, I want to be that old lady that's still, like, fun and outgoing.
I think I would take some art classes, because, like, I took art all through.
It was super calm.
No, yeah, like, I took art classes.
Peaceful old hood.
Yeah. What I do hope that I'm able to do from a financial sense is, like, give to support charities that mean a lot to me. There's a lot of organizations that do good work. I hope that I am able to get to the point where I have excess finances so that I can donate to some charities.
That's another. I wouldn't care about saving money. At 20-something, all I care about is saving money. You let me talk.
I'm sorry.
You're not letting me.
Because I keep having thoughts. Go ahead.
But I wouldn't care about, like, saving money, because I feel like at 20-something, all you're thinking about is, I need to buy a house, and I'm gonna have to buy cars, and I'm gonna have kids, and I'm gonna have to go to college or get my kids into college and, like, all this stuff. But at 97, I mean, unless my future offspring really needed it, I'm just spending my money.
Yeah.
Y'all figure it out once I'm gone.
I just read, and it could be fake because everything on the internet is not real, but I just read a story, and they erected a statue to this lady who her goal was, because she was born, you know, before black people fully had civil rights. So her goal was to get an education, and she was not able to do it, but she worked really hard and she saved her money. And at some point in her life, she walked into a college and donated, I think it was like $150,000, because she knew that she was never going to be able to use it, and she wasn't going to, but they said she saved more than that, but like she made a $150,000 donation as someone that never went to college, never had a, what would be considered a white collar job, whatever. So I've had white collar jobs, and I hope to be able to have enough financially that I can, things like public television that had such an impact on my life, some of the charities,
If
local
it
charities and
exists by
stuff,
then.
if it's still around by then. But, you know, I want to be able to give a scholarship to somebody that's going to USF, because USF did their big one with both you and I. So like, there's things on my list that I want to do. The scholarship thing, we need to talk about that, because we're going to do that. But yeah, we're going to do that.
I mean, I could do that now.
That's
I
what
don't
I
mean that
mean.
as like a flex.
Yeah, like, but no, while I'm saying it out, while I'm on
now.
camera and saying it out loud, we're going to do that, because USF was really good to both of us, and I think, you know, you need to give back. So like, there's things that I need to be doing now, and I'm going to work on doing them now. But there's a lot of stuff that once I get to those golden years, you know.
But in like, not when I'm 90, but in like my 60s or 70s, I could definitely see myself being like a professor or something, or like a mentor to students.
Yeah, so you said I stole your list. That was one of my things that I regret, that I did not go ahead and continue my education so that I could be a college professor. I know it's not too late, but like right now, I was tired, boss. I'm tired, y'all.
Well, let's move on to Gemini Gems. Would you like to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first, because I don't know which one you want.
Well, this is something that I probably won't do myself, but I can help y'all do it. Is something that I always forget to have done, because it's one of those things where when you're sitting inside of your vehicle, you're not thinking about what it looks like on the outside, but cleaning off your headlights is actually important, because my headlights currently are looking a little dim, and that's because I have been forgetting to clean them off.
Yeah.
But I am going to get my car detailed. So.
Yeah, and it's not as simple as just washing the car. Like, once they get that buildup on them.
Yeah, especially if you have an older car, because my car is like a 2019,
Yeah.
so it has a lot of buildup.
Yeah. So on the same trajectory, talking about cars, a lot of times when you take your car in for maintenance, when they rotate the tires and change the oil, they give you that check off list of things that need to be done. Some of those things you can do yourself, or at least find a friend that knows about cars that can do them. And one of them that I saw on the internet is changing that cabin air filter. Is not difficult. Just watching the videos. I haven't tried it, y'all. Probably not going to try it. I'm going to find a friend to do it. But changing the cabin air filter, you need to do that, because you're breathing in that air that's circulating in the car. The car will run better when you do those kind of maintenance things. But apparently, based on what I saw, you open the glove compartment, take the stuff out of the glove compartment, and it's just right there. You can buy them online, it's cheaper, or you can go into an auto parts store. But change the cabin air filter in your car, or have somebody do it for you, and you do not have to go to a dealership. If you know somebody that's relatively handy, they can do it for you.
Well, with all that being said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Period.